I was talking to a friend recently, and I realized that he and I live in very different social realities. I do this thing called Zendo, which is group Zen meditation. My friend does this thing called circling, a group relational practice that is supposedly similar to Zen meditation. These activities are supposed to be similar, so you might expect that they attract similar crowds. But that's not the case at all. In my friend's circling group, there's a narcissist who is causing problems by hogging attention and talking too much and stuff. My friend asked me what the process was for removing such people from Zendo. I was stunned because the question is ridiculous. There is no policy for removing toxic people from Zendo. That's because toxic people don't go to Zendo. Or if they do, they have such an awful experience they never return. In other words, Zendo doesn't have to kick out narcissists because narcissists self-select out of attending Zendo. It's like how the Marine Corps doesn't need to kick out pacifists. That's because pacifists don't join the Marines. Why do narcissists avoid Zendo? Because narcissists want to talk about themselves all the time, and shikantaza is the opposite of that. Extreme communities tend to attract extreme people. Fat, unhealthy people self-select out of demanding physical sports. Stupid people self-select out of taking difficult physics classes. Stupid people don't even make a conscious choice not to get a PhD in physics. The possibility isn't even on their radar. You can use this principle to your advantage. If you want to be around smart people, then go hang out at Lighthaven and you'll be surrounded by smart people. If you want to be around hot people, then go play sports. Similar people clump together, so you can filter for any personality characteristics you want, not just intelligence and athleticism. You can make it so that everyone in your social bubble is nice, curious, or even happy. I did this last one, where I optimized my life so that the people around me are happy all the time. When I go contra dancing, I'm constantly surprised by how happy everyone is. This is at least partially because dancing makes people happy, but I think the causation is bidirectional. Unhappy people don't enjoy contra dancing. Therefore, unhappy people don't go contra dancing. Therefore, and happiness is correlated with all sorts of other good qualities, like niceness. So the people at contra aren't just happy, they're super nice too. At the opposite of the spectrum, consider cancer support groups. Cancer support groups are full of people trying to be happy, i.e., people who are not currently happy. So if you want to be surrounded by unhappy people, then go join a cancer support group. My friend's situation is darkly ironic because he desperately wants to be part of a strong community full of nice people. So he tries to build communities with other people who desperately want to be part of a strong community full of nice people. But think about who this selects for. People who desperately want to be part of a strong community full of nice people are a subset of people who aren't currently part of a strong community full of nice people. Which means my friend unintentionally surrounds himself with people who have high correlations to personality traits that are incompatible with being part of a strong community full of nice people. The catch-22 would be hilarious if it wasn't so tragic. Just to illustrate how incredibly diverse people and communities are, I recently met someone who basically does demonic blood rituals. They go into a basement, lay out plastic tarps, tie a person to a support column, and lightly cut her up with knives. Everything is voluntary. The person getting tied up and cut into is into it for some reason. This happens within 10 blocks of where I live, but I didn't know about it until I went looking. What questions was I asking that led me to the basement of consensual blood rituals? That's none of your business. The point I'm trying to get across is that the world is incredibly diverse. To quote Chuck Palahniuk, "There is nothing a blue-collar nobody in Oregon with a public school education can imagine that 1 billion people haven't already done." Anything you can imagine, people are already doing. And if it seems like people aren't doing it, that's just because you haven't found them. Lots of people are really weird in unimaginable ways. You don't hear about us because we're minding our own business. But the doors of Zendo are open to everyone.